Hi, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. Listen, I have compiled a whole bunch of information that is factual for you concerning the arrest of an individual by the name of Patrick Xavier Clark, who has been arrested and charged for Takeoff murder. You know Takeoff. Takeoff from the Migos recently got killed in Houston, Texas. This gets deeper. Listen to this information. This video is going to be a bit lengthy because not only will it talk about who was arrested, it will talk about why and how and where the case sits right now. Listen, before I go any further, let me just say this. I remember the chief of police of Houston saying they did not want to fumble the case, so please give them some time so they can move accordingly. Be a bit slow about it, but be meticulous. Therefore, they won't make any mistakes and nobody will be able to go to court and beat the case and walk and leave them empty-handed. So I only hope that they actually have the right person, because people are saying, and there's word on the streets, man, if you from Houston, you already know that boy couldn't scrape butter with a knife. He ain't the killer. He taking the fall. Somebody is paying him or forcing him to take this fall. I don't know how true that is, but I'm going to go off of factual information that has been released. So, the first one is Patrick Xavier Clark. His bail has been set at $1 million after he got arrested and charged for the shooting death of Migos Rapper Takeoff. This afternoon, Houston police officials announced that they've made an arrest in the shooting death of Takeoff. The suspect was revealed as Patrick Xavier Clark, who is being hit with this murder charge. However, more details are emerging regarding Clark's arrest. According to TMZ, his bail is currently set at $1 million, and as a result, a judge also set various conditions for him should he even be able to post the $1 million bail. Listen, first of all, they put you on $1 million bail when they believe that the probability of you being convicted of whatever it is you've been charged for is very, very highly likely. In other words, they have so much evidence against you, whether it's through testimony, somebody confessed, pointed you out, whatever the case may be, DNA connected you, a camera, video, pictures, whatever. It is so strong. This is how people get $1 million bond. It is so strong that they pretty much feel like you are a high risk. You know you're guilty. They know you're guilty, but according to the court of law, we have to take it to court and argue your case. But if it was up to them right now, you would start serving your sentence right now. That's why they put it at $1 million. Right. So in the event that he's able to pay that $1 million and get out, the judge has also put other things in place. Because, you know, this whole scene is connected. He might be connected to some people that have some money. And those people might be able to set that bail and get him out. And next thing you know, he's on the run and can't be found. Okay, Clark is not allowed to speak with Takeoff's family, Jay Prince and his family. He's not allowed to speak with Jay Prince and his family, including Jay Prince Jr. and his Mob Ties crew group members and all those people. He's not allowed to speak with Shakur Stevenson's family and anyone from Shakur's place of employment. Jay Prince and Stevenson's crew were all at the 810 Billiard and Bowling Alley where Takeoff was shot and killed at in Houston a month ago. So when it all went down that night, he was there, present. Should he get out, pay this $1 million and get out, he is also being requested to be placed under house arrest. So it's not like he can pay this $1 million and go roam the streets. Oh, I'm out on bail. I got money. I got people that got money that can get me out. No, if he gets out of this, he's going to have to be on house arrest. Considering how huge his bail amount is, many are suspecting that yo, it's highly unlikely. He won't be able to pay this, right? So a man at that bowling alley who was also seen with a firearm in his pocket on that night of the shooting, many people suspect that that individual was Clark, Patrick Xavier Clark. A lot of people were saying before that it was a dude named Lil Cam. I don't know how we got to Patrick Xavier Clark now. DJ Academics might have had it wrong because he broke it down a whole different way. Or what are we seeing here? Is this a case of them putting somebody that they know is going to take it to court and beat it just so they could go through a whole trial to lose trial? Because if that's the case, then they might as well throw this out from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So the headlines broke yesterday. It says suspect arrested in the killing of rapper Takeoff. The Houston police made the announcement. That suspect had been arrested and charged with the killing of Takeoff and the rapper and Migos, member of the Migos, at a bowling alley in Houston. Announcing the news on Friday, Houston police said that Takeoff, who was 28 years old and whose birth name was Kershnick Kari Ball, he was just an innocent bystander. The city police chief, Troy Finner, said that Patrick Xavier Clark, the 33-year-old who is charged with his shooting death, was arrested and charged on Thursday evening, and another man, Cameron Joshua, who we covered yesterday, 22 years old, was charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. I don't know why they tied Cam's stuff into it, because Cam's name been getting called all along on the whole Takeoff thing. Clark, the 33-year-old who's charged, the DJ, Clark was being held in jail awaiting a bond hearing. Court records did not list an attorney who would speak on his behalf. However, I already gave you the update that his bond has been set at $1 million. You know what I'm saying? The chief came out and said, we lost a good man. Migos broke through with a massive hit Versace in 2013. We in 2022, and one of them is already dead. Bad and Bougie and all these other hit songs and whatever. Number one on the 200 Billboard charts. Very hard to accomplish that, and they did. Takeoff and Quavo released a joint album only built for Infinity Links just weeks before Takeoff's death. And a lot of people, all this talk about conspiracy theory talk, Quavo sacrificed Takeoff so the album could do good. It was the dumbest shit I've ever heard, so I never even subscribed to that type of a talk. At a memorial service in Atlanta last month, fans and performers, including Drake, Justin Bieber, and a lot more other celebrities, they celebrated Takeoff's musical legacy. Everybody was there. It was a good send-off. The shooting happened in the early hours of November 1st, and police said that a dispute had actually erupted. See, now they have proper information as to what happened. They've pieced the pieces together. A dispute erupted as more than 30 people were leaving a private party. Police have also said that one man and one woman suffered non-life-threatening gunshot injuries. At least two people opened fire. So it wasn't just one person that was shooting. At least two people opened fire. On Friday, a Houston police sergeant, Michael Burrow, told reporters that there was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event inside of the building. It was a lot of money on the floor, and people were in the dice game getting to the money. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He didn't have any weapons on him or anything. He was truly an innocent bystander. Wow. Burroughs also called for more witnesses to come forward. And check this out. They said based on video footage and all that other stuff, they boiled it down to 30 people that were standing outside the bowling alley after the event. Literally, every single one of those people left the scene without giving a statement to the police. Every single one of them left the scene. Not one of them. This is according to the police paperwork. Not one person stopped to speak to the police to say, yeah, old boy over there in the blue hat, he pulled out and started firing, or nothing. They just left. This is how they care about you, my friend, right? You in a room full of people. You're surrounded by 30 people and you're shot down like meaningless nothing. And not one of them stood by to say, yo, I'm going to stand on some justice for this man and his family because he didn't deserve this. Everybody left. Well, remember what kind of a party. It was a birthday party, and J. Prince Jr. was involved. So, of course, it was a private party, which tells me that everybody in attendance were associated with the party who was having the birthday party. So, of course, the no snitching rule goes into effect. And because of that, nobody says anything. Under Texas law, if convicted, Clark, who's now been charged with Takeoff's shooting, he could receive between 5 years and 99 years in prison, possibly even life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. It is that serious, okay? Now, here's some info about who are the suspects that are charged in the tragic case of Migos Rapper Takeoff. Here we go. We're going to talk about Patrick Xavier Clark and Cameron Isaiah Joshua. Patrick Xavier Clark is the one who's been charged with murder. Cameron Isaiah Joshua has been charged with unlawful possession of weapon charge. According to Houston police announced on Friday that charges were filed in the books against the 33-year-old in the murder of Migos Rapper Takeoff, who was shot and killed in Houston on November 1st. Videos that circulated online after the fatal shooting had social media users zeroing in on one man wearing a yellow hoodie who was allegedly seen gripping a gun when fellow Migos member Quavo was exchanging words with someone shortly before the shooting started. The hashtag yellow hoodie blazed across social media, with social media people suspecting that Cameron Joshua, known in the Twitterverse as @LilCam5th, was the fatal triggerman. They were wrong. According to the police, they were wrong. Cam was not the shooter. This is the police saying this. All along, we've had it that Cameron was the shooter. That hashtag yellow hoodie stuff, it went all over the place and everybody started jumping on board and saying, yep, I seen the video. They slowed it down, played it frame by frame. He was the shooter. The police are saying that's wrong. He was not the shooter. Another man, Xavier Clark, who's 33 years old, had been charged with the murder of Takeoff. Joshua, or Cam, was charged, however, with unlawful carrying of a weapon. And I explained in a video before why he got caught up. Because he was already on papers with the law. And then if your parole or probation officer watches a video and sees you at a party, and then there you are standing there with a gun, well, that's unlawful possession. That's how Cam got caught up. So Cam has not been charged, even though everybody was saying that he's the shooter. Hashtag yellow hoodie, right? Police says that's not the right information. So who is Clark and who is Joshua? Okay, according to social media profiles, they're both involved in Houston's entertainment industry. Let's start off with Patrick Xavier Clark first, the one who has been charged with Takeoff's shooting, death. According to what social media users are saying, Patrick is a well-known Houston rapper / DJ that goes by the stage name DJ Pat, who's familiar with Clark or tagging at DJ Pat 713 on his Instagram and Twitter following his arrest. His last tweet before his arrest was on November 29th. This is what it said. It said, the ones that's supposed to be here switched up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. The ones who's supposed to be here switched up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. On his YouTube channel, he posted a YouTube short nearly a month ago and titling it, What's Understood Don't Have to Be Said. See, and then he goes on to say this. He said, quote unquote, see, you have to learn how to play your position or play a position, because understand it don't matter what position you play. If the team wins, you get a championship ring. So might go over your head, but what's understood? Blank. Additional information from court records shows that Clark had previously been arrested in connection to another fatal shooting at a club back in 2018. Funny thing about that is there are people now that are saying, man, if you know the Houston scene and you know this person right here, you know that he couldn't scrape butter with a knife. He couldn't swat a fly. He is past innocent. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't know his background. Real killers be moving silent sometimes, right? Additional information from court records shows that he was previously arrested in connection with another shooting death that took place at a club back in 2018. According to documents, Clark was at a club called Club Live on North Shepherd Drive about 3 a.m. when a man was pepper sprayed by a security guard. Police says that the pepper sprayed man went to his vehicle, got a pistol, and shot at the guard and shot at Clark. Both Clark and the security guard pulled out, up their fire, and shot the man, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities says that Clark initially fled the location right after that shooting, but later he returned and he cooperated with the police. He was ultimately no-billed by a grand jury in this case, meaning he was not charged. Documents released on Friday shows that Clark was preparing to flee the country before he was arrested for Takeoff's death. He had an expedited passport and an itinerary for Mexico. Fuck you going to Mexico for? What's in Mexico for you, black man? What you going down to Mexico to do? Huh? You heard that? Okay, that's the reason why they set his damn bail at $1 million, because he is a flight risk. They have documents that prove that he had a expedited passport. An expedited passport, people, basically means you didn't have a passport before, but you went ahead and got one quickly, or your passport you had before was expired, and you went ahead and went the expedited route to pay the extra fees, to fill out the extra paperwork, to get one as quickly as possible. And he had an itinerary, which means he had a ticket already booked. When his plane's going to leave, what time, what airport, when and where it's going to land, etc., etc. He had a long-ass itinerary for Mexico, what hotel he was going to go check in at first, and all this other stuff. And then he got caught. Prosecutors revealed that they found surveillance video and an eyewitness confirming that Joshua was at the party with a gun at the time of his time that Takeoff was killed. Joshua's attorney, which is Cam, Christopher Downey, said his client had absolutely nothing to do with Takeoff's death. Now check it out. The thing about this here is this. He's in a dangerous situation because people are saying even if he didn't have anything to do with it, he actually knows who did it, right? And some people are still thinking that he did do it, and they're throwing this other person under the bus. However, just the fact that this person has been arrested and charged, Cam is still in trouble, because what this is saying is Cam got arrested, he got picked up, and once he got picked up, then they went and got this other person. This other person, Patrick Xavier Clark, got snitched on by Cam, and that's the reason why they were able to go pick him up. Cameron Joshua did not shoot Takeoff, is what Cam's lawyer is saying. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name, Downey said. My understanding is it was some type of social event and some people were playing dice, he said. Beyond that, I don't know what happened. Downey did not say if Joshua or Takeoff had any prior relationships. As for his criminal history, Cam posted a $300 bond after being charged for burglary of a motor vehicle back in 2022. Record shows that he was also listed as an out-of-state fugitive on a robbery warrant from Los Angeles, California. Additionally, on December 3rd, 2020, Cam was charged with burglary of a vehicle and he served 3 days in Harris County Jail, according to court records, before he was released. So Cam don't have nothing violent on his record. He got some petty crime stuff, breaking into cars, and a robbery warrant from out in California, and he was a fugitive because he ran away from California and ended up down south in the company of J. Prince Jr. and in Houston, Texas, doing his thing, right? He's trying to blow on the music scene. He is an artist as well. That's Cameron Isaiah Joshua, who's been arrested for the gun stuff, but not charged. Patrick Xavier Clark, they have proof. He had a flight itinerary. He was getting ready to leave the country. He was going to flee into Mexico, and they found the plane ticket and his flight itinerary, and his bail has been set at $1 million. Like I said in the beginning of this, I hope they don't fumble the ball. I hope this is really the person that did it. There are a lot of people now that are saying that Cameron is the one that snitched on Patrick Xavier Clark, and that is why he got picked up, because if Cam didn't talk, Patrick would have been in Mexico by now. This is going to get deeper. Let's see where this goes. Let's see, is Patrick connected to the people who everyone is saying is responsible for Takeoff's death, the persons who invited him to the party? All in all, this should have never happened. This should have never had happened, especially not to a multi-millionaire, platinum-selling, chart-topping legend like Takeoff. But check it out. Somebody said something that made sense. He said, you would never find Jay-Z in a bowling alley playing dice with hood ninjas. Let that rest. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Hope you like the video, filled with information, so you know what's happening right now. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. I'm out. Peace.